Well, it's Wednesday, and you all know what that means. As you probably know, Stardom had their latest New Blood show, New Blood 18, featuring many matches, including talent from outside of Stardom, such as, of course, GTO, Wave, Diana, wherever they come from. And then, of course, we move on with AEW Dynamite featuring many matches. We do have a match with um, Tony Storm and Queen Aminata. We do have, of course, Will Ospreay taking on someone from the Don Callis family. But the main event, as you know, is finally arriving. Swerve Strickland finally gets his hands on Ricochet. So we will see how that one rolls up. And as for everything else, we only have another review, but this one is the first one. I was hoping I get to see it, and it's finally here. We have the collaboration between Marvelous and Freelance Unit Colors, so that's going to be a lot of fun to review. And as for today, we do not have any news updates for all you guys, so that's going to be for another time. So let's get ready for another episode of Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Hey everyone, welcome to Deleted Wrestle Zone, all things that it's pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J Rod here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is a channel where we do a lot of pro wrestling reviews from various promotions, not only here in the United States, but also in Japan, Mexico, Canada, Europe, the UK. Anywhere in the world pro wrestling is not as big, but it continues to grow. We also do discussion videos, talk about various topics such as the wrestlers themselves, the promotions, factions, storylines, whatever we want to talk about. We also, of course, do more news updates. If certain information was unable to be on this episode, we can either put it on the next one or on a separate video by itself. We also, of course, do real-timing news updates to keep you guys on alert if something has happened in the world of wrestling that needs to be addressed ASAP. We also, of course, got the Unagi Sayaka Watch and various other cool wrestling content as well. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to us or click on that subscribe button. You'll be getting a lot of daily reviews and other cool wrestling content as well. But if you like this episode, please give us a like on the like button or a nice comment in the description down below. Now, all introductions have been said. I believe it's time to full speed ahead. So let's begin with our very first review, and this one is from Marvelous versus Colors. Okay, Marvelous versus Colors. This took place recently, and of course, in Shinkiba on February 4th. Well, as you know, Colors are a four-woman unit, so they will be in the main event, so we'll get to that. Now, let's begin with our first match. We have, of course, the rookie Sora Ayame taking on Veni. Now, of course, as you probably know, that the rookies are meant to lose in their matches when it comes to dealing with veterans. Well, of course, you probably know Veni is a bit of an aggressive type of wrestler. But however, she put away Ayame with a brainbuster, and just like that, well, the rest, it is done. Now, the other rookie, Senka Akatsuki, takes on Nightshade. Now, of course, Nightshade, she's a big girl. So it's going to be a difficult thing, but I'm sure Akatsuki will do whatever it takes to try to bring her down. But unfortunately, it was not enough because she got pancaked with the body press by Nightshade. 1, 2, 3. It was over. Now, our next match, we have Aihausen versus Maria versus Shikayo Nagashima. Now, of course, recently we have seen the old attitude from Aihausen where she's being a bit of a brat due to certain losses she had with the rookie. But however, she has to maintain her composure while she has to deal with Maria and Nagashima. But however, Maria, I have to say, she has grown significantly. I'm waiting for her until she gets her final opportunity for the AAW Championship, and I'm sure that's hopefully soon. But however, Maria has to contend with Hausen and Nagashima. But of course, Nagashima, I don't have to worry about her because she's a veteran. But the one thing that was interesting is that Nagashima was taken outside the ring by either accident or intentionally. But it was in fact Maria with a, I don't know for sure if it was a Michinoku driver onto Hausen, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was done. Now, our next match, we have the only males exhibition match. Leo Asaka taking on Psycho. So many of you probably ask, where's Psycho from? Well, he's from another promotion, I believe, with Freedoms, I believe. But yeah, uh, you probably would think that Leo is the homegrown, he will win the match, but unfortunately, that wasn't the case. There was some various counters toward the end. There was like a moment of a somewhat of a crucifix that allowed Psycho to pick up the win, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Now for our main event, we have Colors, consistent of Yuko Sakurai, Hikari Shimizu, and of course Saki. They take on the homegrowns of Marvelous, Riko Kawahara, Mio Momono, and of course the ace of Marvelous, Takumi Iroha. Now, of course, this is a very interesting match. There was some moments where, of course, they lift both Hikari Shimizu and Mio Momono were lifted up on people's shoulders or whatever, doing like something, and Mio Momono tried to act like a one of those girls like that or something. But I thought it was funny. But nonetheless, the match was pretty good. But unfortunately, this match ended with Mio Momono applying a German suplex on Yuko Sakurai, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was done. But however, during the post match, Takumi had some words to say to Hikari Shimizu. Now, remember, folks, I did report it about a month ago about Shimizu um, announced her retirement for next month. So they decided to make this show all about her because, of course, it's going to be sad to see her go, but it's understandable because she's concerned about long term health. And I don't blame her. I mean, if she's concerned, it's very respectful. And of course, everybody had their bit of fun with her at the end of the show. So it was great. And I'm glad that she has high spirit and she doesn't want to leave this pro wrestling world with no regrets. And I hope she leaves with happy endings. And of course, she leaves with a happy smile, which I like her smile, you know. So I think that's pretty much it with this particular review. Let's move on with Stardom. Okay, Stardom New Blood 18. This is the latest show that just came out. Of course, many of you who are new to the show, you ask yourself what's so special about New Blood. This is where they have, of course, wrestlers who either have 3 years of experience in wrestling, or if they're in the ages of under 21. Wrestlers who started out as teenagers all the way till they reach that point. And there are various wrestlers that are like that, but we'll get to every last one of them. Now, our first match, as you know, Stardom introduced brand new rookies, Julia Hime, Akira Kurugane. Now, they take on, of course, the current New Blood Tag Team Champions, Rice or Bread, members of EXV, Hanako, and Waka Tsukiyama. Now, of course, many of you would think right away, just by hearing this match, you would think, of course, that this match would end with Rice and Bread winning. Well, yes, that's exactly because Julia and Akira are meant to lose this match, but it does give them a bit of a learning curve. And of course, it was Hanako who picked up the win, and she applied it sharpshooter on Julia, and just like that, Julia had no choice but to tap. But however, in the post match, Waka tried to extend her hands. As you know, they're trying to recruit more members, but they're not having it. So we'll see where that goes. Now, our next match, Rian will take on, of course, Coyote Yonayama. Now, of course, Coyote Yonayama, you know she's a very crafty wrestler for being a height speedster, so I wasn't too sure how this was going to be. But of course, Rian also is a rookie too. I mean, she hasn't reached 1 year yet. I mean, she only has like a couple of months to go or so. But however, you can tell she has shown a bit of an improvement. But however, that wasn't enough until Coyote Yonayama applied of course, the O'Connor roll, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. But however, Yonayama decided to do a little post-match promo, talk to Rian, and it seems like there's going to be a brand new tag team. So it's interesting to see. Just keep in mind that Yonayama is not officially a member of the Stardom roster. She is a freelancer. She does run her own promotion as well, but we'll see how that plays out. Now, our next match, we have trios actions. We have Saran and Honoka and Kohaku. They take the stage. They take on, of course, God's Eyes, consistent of Kiyoka Katatsu and Hina. No, Tomoka. No, Hina and of course Tomoka Inaba. So it's interesting to see this combination be part of it. Of course, you probably would expect a lot of expectations for Saran and Honoka and Kohaku. Now, remember, Honoka and Kohaku are current members of the Wave roster. I don't know about Saran. Last I heard, she was part of Ice Ribbon, but she was among the few girls that made their decisions to leave Ice Ribbon. So I don't know if she landed with Pro Wrestling Wave. That's something I still don't know yet, but I'll look into it. But however, this match ended with, of course, Hina applying a pinfall on Hanako, and just like that, it was over. But however, for some odd reason, Saran decided to beat up uh, Honoka and disrespect her, and then, of course, holding her championship belt. So I don't know exactly what the plan is for her, but we'll see. Our next match we have coming from Diana, Yuma Makoto and Mizuki Kato. They take on, of course, the former New Blood Tag Champions, Devil Princess from Hate, consistent of Azusa Inaba, and of course Rian. Now, of course, you probably would think that ever since Inaba and Rina lost the tag team belts, they will definitely bounce back. That's exactly what they did. It was, of course, Rina that picked up the win with the Pink Devil, or as we know it by looking at it, the Gory Bomb. And just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Now, our next match, we have Himiko. She teams up with God's Eye members. Nanami, who's also part of Diana, she teams up with Rana Yagami. They take on the next generation Cosmic Angels, Sayaka Kurara, Aya Sakura, and Yuna Mizumori. So many of you would think in some capacity that the Cosmic Angels will have a full vanish since they are the homegrown girls. And of course, ever since Tam, Sairi Anu, and Natsupo lost the artist belts, they felt that was time for those three to step up their game. And I think that's what was going on. But unfortunately, it did not go exactly like they would have planned because, of course, the current New Blood Tag Team champions were looking on. But it was Aya Sakura who lost when Nanami applied the Northern Light suplex, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, and it was over. But however, Rice, our current New Blood Tag Team champions, are looking for challengers. And of course, Hanako, those who remembered or not, Hanako and Aya Sakura were part of the same batch that debuted in March of 2023 until they made their separate ways to go to different factions. But of course, Aya Sakura was determined to outgrown her, but she hasn't yet. But it seems now she's been put in a dilemma where she has to choose who will be her tag partner if she will make a choose for the New Blood Tag Team belts. And I think many people will love to see her with Sayaka Kurara. So we'll see how that rolls up. We'll see who will be challenging for the belts. So there's already a lineup for that. Uh, but yeah, so that's pretty much it right now with Stardom. Let's move on with our final review, AEW Dynamite. Alright, our final review, AEW Dynamite. It opened up with, of course, with Renee Paquette doing an interview with Jay White talking about his very unusual, but of course, allies, uh, rated FTR, rated R superstar Cope, and of course, one of the best tag teams, FTR. So basically, Jay White was saying he knows that this is a very unusual team up, but he feels that it's necessary for them, for him, knowing that he has dealt with the Death Riders. But however, the Death Riders were intending to wipe him out. But it seems that, of course, his new allies were hoping that that was the case. So it became a battle between 4-on-4, even the games. However, the whole fight went all the way to the ring. But as soon as that, Cope has been asking for a shot of the AEW title. But Moxley, being the coward that he is, who he feels that he doesn't deserve it, no one should be challenging for it. So he said no. But however, Jay White thought of a better opportunity. How about this? How about him and Claudio team up and head to Brisbane for Grand Slam for the upcoming match, and they decided to make it a Brisbane street fight. So it's probably going to happen. So I can't wait to see that. But it's now later been confirmed for the Grand Slam. The AEW Continental Championship will be on the line because Okada will defend it against Buddy Matthews. Now, Will Ospreay, as you know, he's been dealing with the Don Callis family for quite some time, and now he has built up in a very interesting um, ally with Kenny Omega, a guy that he has dealt with in the past. But however, the real question is who will be joining the Don Callis family to take him on? Well, to our very surprise and shocking, it was Mark Davis, someone that Will Ospreay knows too well. So you would think in some capacity that, of course, Mark Davis would have been the one guy to take him out, but it did not happen. Will Ospreay applied the hidden blade, and just like that, it was over. But however, in the post match, of course, Ospreay and Kenny were in the ring talking about their upcoming match. But of course, Omega did say to about Davis, he doesn't know what kind of hold he has on him. But he did tell him he does have someone he can lean on, and that is, of course, Will Ospreay. But of course, Kyle Fletcher is trying to tell Davis that Will Ospreay is a moron. So we'll see what happens. But of course, Fletcher and Takeshita are determined to destroy Omega and Ospreay. So we'll see about that. Now, the Hurt Syndicate, as you know, they are the brand new AEW Tag Team Champions, but they made remarks to Private Party about saying that they made the wrong choice to challenge them. But they were the ones who wanted this. I mean, the Hurt Business wanted these belts. But however, the Guns made their return. Austin and Colton Gunn. They are demanding a shot of the AEW Tag Team titles, but of course, the Hurt Business decided you're not even worth it. But we'll see what happens. I'm sure that the Guns will figure something out. Now, Renee Paquette did another interview with Carly Cameron, and this time she brought the Mercedes Moné puppet in order to entice things. Of course, it was a lot of fun, but however, Mercedes Moné has had it with her shenanigans. I mean, she's demanding that she wants to have this TBS title shot at Brisbane. So Mercedes says no, but she's been, of course, dealing with this. Now, Renee Paquette does another interview, this time with Hangman Page, talked about Christopher Daniels and his retirement, but of course, he had no remorse. He told him that he was going to put him out of business. But however, Max Caster decided, of course, to pick a fight with him, uh, but he was alone. But Hangman decided to chase him down, so I thought it was pretty funny. Now, our next match, we have the Hounds of Hell, Buddy Matthews and Brody King taking on the members of the Don Callis family, Konosuke Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher. Now, of course, this is an important match for Takeshita and Fletcher, knowing that they have to keep their focus in order to defeat Omega and Ospreay. But however, Buddy Matthews cannot afford to lose this match because he will be facing Okada. Now, at some point in the match, it seems like this match could have won in favor of the Hounds of Hell, but someone played the Okada's music. But of course, the person that was primary suspect was Don Callis. But of course, Don Callis denied. But I wouldn't be surprised if it did. But a part of me would think that Okada, who was not present at times, might have done something about it. But unfortunately, there was a bit of a assistant brainbuster on Brody King to put him down, and Fletcher was the one who picked up the win. Now, Hook and Samoa Joe, as you know, they're back to their old ways, and they decide to look for Christian, but apparently they run into Tweedledee and Tweedledum. We're talking about Nick Wayne and, of course, Skip Sabian, but of course, Samoa Joe left the mess, and Hook left the message to Christian, but Christian was there watching, but hiding like the coward that he is. But sooner or later, Hook will get his hands on Christian, no matter what. Now, of course, MJF decided, of course, to do a little promo, but apparently Max Caster was asking MJF to hide him, but Handman Page showed up. But however, MJF decided, to talk about Jeff Jarrett, and of course, Dustin Rhodes decided to, how to say, to step up, telling him to stop talking about wrestlers of the past because that's something he will never be. But of course, MJF likes to push people's button. He made some remarks about his brother, saying that he will always be in his shadow. But you know how that rolls up. Now, before the next of our match, we did see, of course, Mariah May making her way to the commentary booth. But however, the match was featuring Queen Aminata versus Tony Storm. But the most interesting part, she dressed up like Mariah May. And Mariah May was a bit like shocked and speechless. Like she had no idea what to say. She was lost for words. I mean, Tony Schiavone was like saying, Mariah, are you okay? Say something. But she was like completely. And she was really impersonating her in every way. But it wasn't surprising that she did one of her moves. Remember, Mariah May was using Tony Storm's move, the uh, the Storm Zero. So Tony Storm decided to apply, of course, the Mayday, and just like that. But of course, during the post match promo, you can tell Mariah May was in disgust that she can't believe this has happened. But we'll see. Now, of course, as you know, the Jericho with the whole New York Minute, they have their sights set on Bandito for what they did. But however, as you probably remember, they have an axe to grind with the Outrunners and Powerhouse Hobbs. So we'll see how that rolls up because it turned into a full-blown brawl. Now, our next, and this is our main event, Swerve Strickland versus Ricochet. Now, of course, ever since Ricochet made his appearance, Swerve Strickland decided to pick a fight with them, and now things have been going interesting. Of course, Ricochet is determined. Swerve is determined to destroy him, but however, Ricochet did something. Now, people look what they saw was like a low blow when Swerve was intending to do the Meteora, but the referee didn't do anything. But Ricochet applied the Spirit Gun, and just like that, 1, 2, 3 is over. Now, many of you think, is this over between Swerve and Ricochet? I would say, in my opinion, no. I'm sure Swerve will not be satisfied how this match ended. But we'll see. So we'll see how that rolls up. But for now, we'll end things here. And as I said before, we do not have any news updates. So we'll end it right here and call it a day. Okay, so I hope everybody enjoys this episode. Coming up, as always, we do have Ring of Honor and TNA. I'm looking forward to what's going to happen. I'm sure TNA will be talking about certain talent that made their presence known at, of course, at the Royal Rumble and recently in NXT. So we'll pay attention closely to that. So, but for now, we'll just leave things as it is. And if there's any other reviews I'm planning to do, I'll see what happens. So, but the priority is TNA and Ring of Honor. So, until then, I will see you guys in the next DWZ time. Same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye. Mwah. and have a nice day. Bang!